I turned the recording on. So basically you're saying that I need to Celine Dion this shit.
Actually, I'm quoting Kesha.
Who apparently is ripping off Celine Dion, I'm just finding out.
No.
Heart Go On and On? I'm pretty sure she copyrighted that.
No, Heart Go On to the Beat of the Drum.
Oh, okay.
And Heart Going On is probably the most cliche imagery you can ever use. I don't think Celine Dion was the first to necessarily use that imagery.
Oh, that's just Americanism for you, isn't it, right? We didn't come up with anything, yet we still copyrighted it and said we're the first.
I'm not going to argue that, because you're more or less right.
And here we are again, another episode of the Whole Game Crib podcast. And for those at home who are as shocked as I am, Will just said I was right about something. In the room today, we have the witness of Will saying that I did something right, or said something right, Brandon Carey. He is on the call today.
I did indeed witness this. This is a thing that happened.
It is a thing that happened. And also on the call today is Matthias, Will's latest, most dejected fan, because he was not expecting Will to ever do that.
I'm still in shock. I might be quiet the rest of the podcast.
You ruined Matthias for the rest of the podcast, Will, with you being nice. Yeah, how dare you?
You weakened him so much that he's caught whatever Clayton has today.
And also, Will is on the call as well today, too. So, hi, everybody. Hi, Will.
I don't want to be an American idiot.
It's too late for that. It's too late for that.
Move to
You're
Canada.
on this podcast. By definition, you're an American idiot.
You were raised in Pennsylvania near
Unless
me.
you're John, in which case you're British.
I'm sorry, but...
Oh, so I'm an honorary American idiot? Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah. No, but
Nice.
believe me, it's very rare for someone who is not American to become an American idiot, but believe me, Matthias, you pull it off well. There must
What
be...
do I get? Like a badge shaped like a hamburger and a certificate?
Well, each time you go to another country, you have to make sure you're wearing a Canadian flag at all times, because the American idiocy is going to make everyone want to hate you.
Okay, so...
Okay, got it.
I do have to question. Does the rest of the world really think we have a hamburger fetish?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
No,
we
not
do.
you.
We do.
No,
We totally
I
do.
don't-
Do you know how much burger meat we eat?
I'm asking Matthias. Let Matthias answer.
well, I don't know what to pick. I can pick a hamburger, and most people would understand it as American. I could choose guns, and most people do just a flag.
Oh, man,
A
the
gun
American
sandwich.
fetish
Patriotic
is
about that.
Amazing.
A gun sandwich.
Yeah, for the record,
Yeah, like it.
don't like guns, and I'm a vegetarian, so... I don't know how
You are
American that makes
un-American,
me.
you piece of trash.
He is not a fan of the Philly cheese AK-47.
But he's not Canadian, or he would have said sorry a long time ago. So he hasn't migrated yet.
He hasn't migrated yet. For those not sure what Matthias' random on-air joke about something that was off-air, Will has said many times that his answer to everything when something doesn't go his way is, that's it, I'm moving to Canada.
I think I've said that once over one subject matter.
Yes, and I'm trying to avoid that subject matter because I don't want to talk about it on the podcast again.
Also, I think, migrating to Canada is such a widespread joke that it didn't necessarily need context.
I swear to
But
God,
if you see it
guys,
now,
I'll move
in
to
case
Canada
someone
one time
didn't
when I
get
move
it.
to Canada.
The usability person in me says it needed context, but whatever. Let's see. So, Metal Gear Solid 5 Street Date has been broken in the UK by retailers, and it is now starting to show up on stream.
Yeah, someone tweeted a picture today of someone already starting a Let's Play of it on YouTube.
Is this
Another news, the sky is blue.
You know what? I really hope we have a repeat of what happened with the final Harry Potter book. I show up to buy my book, and everyone's in line, right? And then there's one guy drives by. Oh, they're going about 30. He rolls down the window and says, "Harry Potter dies!" as loud as possible, and then tears away.
I accidentally ruined big portions of that book for my family. Because that was one of those things where, as we were kids, my mom would read it aloud.
Yeah.
But by the time, the 6th and 7th book came out, I was working and doing school, so I didn't have time to sit down with the family.
Oh, boy.
So I would steal the book, read it on my own, and then give it back for them to catch up. And we were in the car one day, and I'm like, oh yeah, when Hedwig and George died, and everyone was like, what? I'm like, oh, you haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That must have been bad.
Best car ride ever.
Yeah, it did end there. And I'm so bad at ruining things that when I saw Spider-Man 3 and told them Mary Jane dies, they believed me for months.
You were so mean. So mean. Okay, so let's... I guess at the Tokyo Game Show, they're finally going to be showing Star Ocean 5 in a playable form. So that'll be something to get excited about, hopefully.
What the fuck is Star Ocean 5?
It's a really, really old-school JRPG series, and the last great one they had was back during the PlayStation 1 era, and they're promising...
Till the end of time was pretty good.
It was bad. I mean, it was panned by reviews, it didn't sell well, it was bad.
I liked it.
Okay. It was still bad. Anyway, their last solid one really was back on the PlayStation. What was it? PlayStation 1? Yeah, it was PlayStation 1.
Yeah, that was when Second Story came out.
Yeah, Second Story.
They remade them for the PSP too.
This is in the category, Will, of PlayStation 1 games that actually have 3 or 4 discs to them. If it gives you any idea of like how long they were and how good they were, it seems like all the great games always had more than 1 disc.
They should have been on a cartridge then.
They actually did try going for a cartridge game, didn't they?
Well,
Didn't they do some handheld Star
Wasn't
Ocean
the
game?
first game on like the Famicom or something?
I don't know. I really don't know. I only played the PlayStation 1 game, and I thought that shit was amazing. And then I tried playing the other ones, and I'm like, that shit is awful. What happened?
It's fine. I haven't played the fourth one though, so I wouldn't know about that one.
Well, let's hope that what's it called? Integrity and Faithlessness is actually good.
Integrity and faithlessness.
Because I want to go back to... they had a really good writing style. It's very... It was simplistic. They gave you everything you need to know. So it worked to their advantage. And I just hope that, they actually go back to doing that.
I will say that the twist in Star Ocean 3 is still kind of goofy. It's still really goofy.
Oh, man. That's such a weird-ass game. Okay, so next story I got is... I guess someone is going to add Autumn Leaves to Fallout New Vegas in a mod.
What?
Fallout New Vegas is so fucking old, and yet it's still getting mods. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, most old games are still getting mods, but what's Autumn Leaves?
Let's see. So, I'm reading more here.
So when it's the autumn season, Will, a lot of times the trees end up, the leaves end up falling off of them.
Okay, apparently
I think it's a pun on Fallout. That's what I would have done, but yeah.
Okay, so this is the mod that has been 4 years in the works. Let's see. Walk the Mojave one last time and discover a centuries-old library inhabited by sentient machines. In this forgotten vault, you will discover that you might not know yourself as well as you thought you did. Autumn Leaves will take you into the realm of knowledge and wisdom and make you answer philosophical questions like, what can one teach to well-knowing machines? What can literature bring to the wasteland? And most of all, what am I going to eat tonight anyway?
I will say that,
you're doing that mob?
Wow, it's very pretty. They actually got a growing tree in the middle of the library. So that'll be the second tree ever to show up in New Vegas.
Okay.
Let's
that
see.
makes a little more sense.
Over 2,000 lines of professionally voiced dialogue, compelling characters with their own quirks and flaws, different types of fates for each character, and the philosophical arguments, blah, blah, blah. You got some detective work, 8
Tell me about the new weapons
quests,
and armor that are in the DLC.
Many new perks unlockable through player choices, quests, and collectibles, several endings, original soundtrack, more than 7 hours of non-repetitive gameplay. Huh. It does not say if they brought any weapons to the world with this new mod.
Boo!
It's not all about guns, Brandon. Have you ever done your no-kill Fallout run?
It's not about guns either. It's about like the swords, the gauntlets.
And since we're on a theme today, this was posted on Canadian Online, GamersNetwork.com.
Okay, they're from Canada.
Yep, they're
from
Canada.
But haven't you ever done your no-kill Fallout run, where you're just a sleazy drug addict?
Will, I have their weapon in Fallout New Vegas called the Ballistic Fist. Why would I ever go non-lethal in Fallout? I can punch someone with a shotgun and shoot them at the same time.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I think I've killed most of the evil enemies in New Vegas.
Yes, but the more guns you sell, the more drugs you can buy.
In New Vegas,
I got like 300 stim packs. I'm not even joking on that number in New Vegas right now.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
some weird anti-gun campaign. The more guns you sell, the more drugs you can buy.
Exactly. That sounds like something an American would say, doesn't it?
Remember, kids, you don't need guns, you just need a good unarmed weapon.
Remember, kids, don't use drugs. Just buy more guns.
There's also the golden boxing gloves in Fallout New Vegas.
Remember, don't drugs and gun.
Golden gloves. I don't think I actually saw... Oh, wait, maybe I do have those.
You didn't get the golden boxing gloves?
I might have them, actually. I'm not sure.
They do knockout damage.
Huh.
KO.
Did you get the Hammer of Dawn?
No. Oh, yes, I did.
That thing
I know
is
what you're
so
talking
fucking
about
buggy.
now.
That
I
thing
think-
is so fucking buggy.
I didn't know you were talking about it first, but now I do. I never
you can
used
only
it, but
fire
I
it once a day. It's such bullshit.
It's a fucking satellite cannon.
It's bullshit.
Needs to recharge.
A whole fucking day?
Yeah, it needs to get into position.
I mean, I don't like Gears of War, but they had the right idea.
But
So
wait,
what, you want to be able to get enough kills in order to get your weapon back? This satellite laser recharges with the blood of your enemies.
I like that idea. Like the bastard sword, but it's in laser rifle form. It's like you need to make a sacrifice to the satellite
So
god.
you
Stab.
claim the bastard sword to be an appropriate weapon.
You know, honestly, I never use the bastard swords in any of the video games because each time you do,
You didn't get that joke.
It takes too much damage. It takes way too much damage.
You didn't get that joke.
No, I ignored your joke because it wasn't funny.
He sandbagged it super hard, but I do approve of it.
that sounds like an interesting concept in if you limit the kills only to the weapons. You get a really powerful weapon with only that many shots and kills give ammo back. So if you miss, you get less ammo, and if you run out of ammo, your weapon's useless. That sounds
That would
really
suck.
like
That would really suck.
it could be like a sniper rifle where you're meant to one shot, one kill. If you miss, you're pretty much fucked.
Or maybe you have to do a 15-minute reload.
Well, has anyone but me ever played Blood Rain 2?
I think you're the only one.
Rain,
It's
no.
vampires, so you
You're
definitely
the only one in
probably
the
only
entire
one.
world that's played Blood Rain 2.
Multiple times, I might add.
You're single-handedly keeping that weird-ass franchise alive. Anyway, continue.
No, but it has a pair of guns in it. I can't remember what they're called. But you recharge them by sucking on the blood of people.
They're probably
And then-
called Ebony and Ivory.
I wanted to say the same thing.
No, I think it's like dragons
Wow.
something. But you do literally refill them with the blood of people.
And do they shoot like red bullets of coagulated blood, or?
Yep, it weaponizes blood.
I was gonna say, is it absorbing the blood so it can get the iron so it can make more bullets?
No, it just weaponizes the blood somehow.
Or you need to
A
like pistol
sorcerer
whip
did it.
people with the back of the gun, and then blood get into the magazine, and then you got no more bullets.
The ultimate mixture of science and sorcery. The blood guns.
This is a game where you're a vampire fighting demons that you can suck the blood of and rejuvenate your health. So,
Of
I mean...
course.
The first one was better, though.
Are there
I mean-
like humanoid bosses that go, "You suck," and then you look at him and go, "Are you for real?"
I'm a
Of course I
vampire,
do. I'm a
bitch.
vampire. Yeah.
It's because I'm a vampire. I'm very good at sucking.
I think there was a little of that in the first game, which I may have played more frequently than I'd like to admit.
So, are we ready for the next story?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm sorry, Brandon. Well, Destiny has the Nolan North stuff in there, and he only sounds 3% louder and higher in tone than the Dinklebot. And he is still promising that he did not listen to Dinklebot's performance at all when he went in to go do this recording, even though they sound almost exactly the fucking same.
But does that wizard come from the moon?
It's
And
amazing
also-
what you can do with glue compression.
And also, people have been researching ways to get more experience in the Taken King, and I gotta ask you if this sounds like a lot of experience to you. So people have found out that you can go out and do bounties and rewards, that kind of thing, and you can actually get experience increases from it, right? And you can collect say 20 of them on your person at any given moment. So people have figured out that if you take that and you actually find a Red Bull code that wasn't stolen, and get the and get the percentage increase boost on your experience points, and then you were to activate all of these different experience point gains that you got from quests that you didn't collect, that you didn't turn in. You're basically turning them all in all at once at one point during the month.
Yeah, a super high multiplier.
Yeah, you get a stupid high multiplier. Does 175,000 experience sound like a lot of experience in that game?
It feels like that sounds like it should be.
Okay, I haven't played Destiny, so I don't know these things.
I only played the beta, dude. So
I
don't
know.
even ask me.
I know.
That means
I don't
you
even
pretty
remember
much
how
have
much
more
experience I was
than
making.
us. Yeah.
I don't even know how much I played of that.
Like,
fucking
I
thing.
say I played Destiny, I only played the beta of it. I didn't actually play the game itself.
I don't even remember how much of a grind I was doing each time I leveled up in that fucking game. So yeah, but basically Destiny's new method of keeping people interested in their games is to quote-unquote decrease the grind. But right here it sounds like it's more of a grind than ever. And plus you're tricking your audience into becoming extreme couponers. It's literally what's going on here. It's extreme couponing.
I will defend Destiny on this one. They are maintaining their strict moral code of advertising, and they're getting ready for their Groupon deal.
Groupon. Bring in 10 of your friends to go do the latest raid mission, and you get 50% off.
You
get an extra $10 in Groupons.
Hey guys, you want to pre-order the Taken King? Well, go get 20 of your friends together. Show up at this one location and pay 3% less on your, your McDonald's order than you normally did.
No, you get Groupons for Red Bull.
Jeez, Red Bull.
Clayton, you just gave me a really bad idea that I hope they don't start doing.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's your bad idea?
Well, you made it sound like they had to do something in order to pre-order.
Yes.
So, next thing you know, they're gonna have to gonna make you do contests enough so you can pre-order, and then only those people who pre-ordered can get pre-order bonuses, and you can see where this is going.
Get 20 of your friends together and let's measure your e-penis. Whoever has the largest e-penis gets the pre-order free. Everybody else gets 30%.
No.
Run a contest, and the winner will be able to buy the Taken King DLC.
Jesus Christ.
No, you have to get 20 of your friends to pre-order the game from the same store to get that store's pre-order bonus.
Oh, okay. Why'd you have to make it actual physically viable option? Why couldn't it have been a little bit more funny? Put an e-penis in there for crying out loud.
Because I'm not making a joke. This is just happening.
God damn it. It is going to happen. So disgusting. What were you saying, Brandon?
But if you buy the collector's edition that includes all the DLC and 2 exclusive emotes, you get a chance to win a lifetime supply of Red Bull.
I just got reminded of that new raid they did in World of Warcraft a while ago, where you pretty much had the entire server you were on had to collect resources, and in the end, one guy on the entire server was able to use the key that came out of that to open the new raid for the server, and he got an achievement for it. Nobody else gets it.
He broke the last cube and became the god of goddess.
So only one guy per server has that achievement.
What?
What the fuck?
That can't be a real thing.
It's in a list I once read about the top 10 most stupid achievements in World of Warcraft or something. Sometimes.
God.
It could have come from there.
I know because I read that same article.
One other achievement they have is you need to go fishing in all of the main cities, but you've got Alliance versus Horde. So in order to get that achievement, you must get a whole bunch of people, basically attack another city, kill all the players there, the really difficult guards and stuff, so you can just go fish in a pond there or a fountain or whatever.
God
get the fish you need, and then you need to do that for every enemy city, so they call it.
Is there any ridiculous QuickTime events for collecting the fish?
I have no idea how fishing works.
So that one's not as bad as the Destiny one, because that one, WoW fans are so fanatic. People who want those achievements, I can see them doing it pretty easily.
Yeah, but the server one you really can't get anymore.
That's insane. What designer looked at that and said, "That's a good idea"?
I
You
don't
get
know.
an
A lot of
exclusive
people
achievement
are.
because
Yeah, a
you
lot
got
of
really
people
fucking
are
lucky.
achievement hunters.
Assholes that really wanted everyone going nuts and ballistic on day one.
I feel like that couldn't have been a designer's choice.
But Will, my perfect achievement score.
Yeah, they may have done something like a hidden achievement that doesn't give any score or doesn't show up, or in a separate category. Like, I think Blizzard does that as well, where you have like.
I keep looking at people that have like these 300,000 gamer scores and whatnot. They're all trying to catch up to the guy who holds the record right now, and I keep thinking to myself, it's 1,000 points per game. So.
Give or
How
take.
many fucking games did they play in order to get that 400,000 gamer score? And that isn't even like that isn't even one of the insane highly ones. There are other people out there that have way higher scores than that. So it's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. There's been like 4 games I've ever 100% completed. It was Alan Wake, Assassin's Creed 2, and Batman Arkham City.
I don't think I've ever platinumed a single game.
I have 20 platinums.
Wow!
Brandon, wow.
You don't.
And the
What
funny
is-
thing is, I haven't 100% completed a game in the past like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay,
I had
that's
Skyrim 100% and on one character until they
Skyrim, I
added the
did.
DLC.
I did get I
and
did get all
then
the achievements in Skyrim.
Brandon, how do you
They-
play a game that long without getting fucking sick of it?
That was back when I was in high school and had a ton of free time.
How did you not get sick of it?
some games are so good. I'm like, I played through Alan Wake like 20 times, so I do understand
fuck.
some games just retaining that magic.
Okay, what's your gamer score? Brandon?
I am trophy level 22, I think. It's been a while since I actually checked.
I think I'm 7? Or no, I'm not. I'm higher than that. God. Jesus.
We're all judging you
I'd
super hard.
have to check the exact score because it's been a while since I actually gave a shit about
I mean, if you guys look at how much I play if you looked at my trophy collection through my PS4, you'd be like, holy fuck, Hulk does not play a lot of games. When I do, it's just that I don't get achievements.
A lot of the ones I did get are like the really easy ones. Like the infamous games were easy to get a platinum trophy for.
I don't even think I got that one.
Of course, I try, like, this is how much I've changed over the years. I tried to do the evil playthrough second time for the trophies, and I got past the first hour, and I got so bored I said enough of this.
Jesus Christ. I'm a little disappointed in Brandon now.
We all did different things in high school. Some of us did
Again, it
horrible
was a
life.
phase, and I regret all of it.
I was waiting for him to say, I regret this.
I regret all of it.
Look at this happen to me.
Well, you're in high school.
Matthias is singing
Thank
our
you,
sketch.
Matthias.
Matthias is singing our theme song in the background.
It was high
God damn
school,
it.
though, remember, teenagers are stupid dipshits.
Yeah. Okay, no decision you make in high school is a good decision. And there's really no time to waste when you're in high school. I mean, sure, you could be productive, but you're a teenager. In 2 years, it's not going to matter for a single shit.
But yeah, there was a time when I gave a shit about trophies and achievements and that kind of bullshit, but that time has long since sailed. You know what eventually broke me?
What?
The feathers in Assassin's Creed 2.
I cheated super hard on that.
Oh, so did I. I was not gonna get those fairly. What kind of bullshit would that be? No, but as I was doing it, I realized I am not having fun getting these feathers at all. So I stopped.
I hated how they fucking forced you to do it.
You didn't have to.
You totally had to for the storyline.
No, you
That was the
didn't.
codex.
Didn't you need to get all the feathers in order to move on in the
I would
storyline?
have never finished AC2 if you had to do that.
Feathers were super peripheral.
Okay.
Just
You
a
got
quick
them
question.
because your dead brother liked collecting eagle feathers, and so it reminds your mom of him.
Oh,
What's your
that's
question,
right. You're
Matthias?
only trying to heal your mother, and all she does is hug you, and then that's it.
Yeah, literally you get one hug for getting all the feathers, and a cape that makes you notorious everywhere.
Matthias had a question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, how many of you actually tried to collect like all the hidden packages in, like, let's say, Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
No.
No.
I
No.
don't like
I don't know if they ever thought somebody would try to collect them all.
I'm suddenly feeling way better about my minions right now. Thank God. There's a standard.
But I did 100% Crash Bandicoot in the day. Well, not the first one. That's not without cheating.
That's still a lot of work.
No, you can beat the Crash Bandicoot games in an afternoon.
Did you just say the Frash Bandicoot?
Yes.
Okay, you all want to
Oh,
judge
Hey
me?
everybody, I got that new hard game that everyone needs to play. It's the Frash Bandicoot, man. It's so fresh.
Do you all want to judge me super hard?
Yes.
Sure.
I have 2 101% completed games on Donkey Kong 64.
God damn it.
And the third is hovering
that's-
at like 69.
That's not that bad.
You worked that Kong.
Nah, the only thing I got that's really, really bad is that if a game has like a true ending to it, I always get it. Half the time on accident.
Nowadays, I will go to howlongtobeat.com before I buy a game. There are games where it's like, nah, that's a bit too long for what kind of experience this is.
Oh boy.
I think like the only long games right now that I honestly want to dedicate time to are the From Software games.
For me, it's going to be those and Persona 5 when that comes out.
So
Because I know it's going to be a 70-hour plus game.
I got a few more stories here. I think we should get through them before we go into too long of a tangent. It's been like
Probably.
20 minutes. Holy fuck.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys had that Resident Evil tangent yesterday last time, so I think you deserve this.
So, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 beta was happening this week on PlayStation 4. I actually didn't get to play it because I've been too busy watching the Doctor Who collection. Anyway, Black Ops 3 happened, and it is apparently the largest beta Sony has ever had. Period. Ever. It broke servers.
I find it really hard to care or be surprised.
Yeah, they don't give official numbers, which is the sad part. I'm curious how many people were playing. But they don't tell anybody, but whatever. Yeah.
I've got no reaction.
From what I've heard, people that are already in love with the Call of Duty games love it, because duh. And everyone else is like, it's a fucking Call of Duty game. So there's nothing going on, really.
So, a new mod has been released for The Witcher 3 and is available currently on Nexus. It is the quote-unquote More Blood mod. Makes everything look like a Quentin Tarantino slasher fic.
For what game?
Witcher 3.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Blood massacre everywhere. So, if someone's a fan of Quentin Tarantino movies.
Well, how long till we had the nudie mod?
You see, I was going to make that joke, but then I remembered that
going to
already
happen.
exists in the game,
It's
so...
going to-
It's called
yeah.
The Witcher 3.
It's called The Witcher 3. That's not really a mod. That was first-party support. Let's see. XCOM 2 has been delayed for 3 months. Everyone cry.
I'm okay with this, because I know a lot of people freak out when a game is pushed back. But for me, it is... The designers are saying they
I
need
would
more
rather
time.
you take the time to make it good than give me a shit product.
Exactly.
Warner
When I hear
Brothers.
something...
Watch Dogs.
Yeah. When I hear something's been delayed, I'm like, okay, I have to wait a little longer, but that just means it's going to be better. So, okay.
In theory. That doesn't always work out, but in theory.
It should
Yeah.
be better.
It should be better. You're right.
It should be. Just
You're
not
right.
always, but it should be.
And, you know,
Keep that optimism alive, Brandon.
and they did come out with XCOM, so I have faith that it will be
Remember, Clayton, Watch Dogs got delayed.
better. Well, yeah, that was also wrapped in all sorts of bullshit candies.
They needed an extra 6 months on Watch Dogs to make sure they got as much bullshit candy wrapped up
They
in
need
there
to make
as they
sure the
possibly
rasp
could.
was just right in Aiden Pierce's voice.
They wanted to make sure that bow was on there in just the right spot and it was tight. Not just a little tight. It needed to be tight.
I want to make the joke, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say, you know, like, Life is Strange has been more or less faithful to schedule. I know the last episode got pushed back a few weeks. But that's
Guess
also
what?
because...
Life is Strange episode 5 now delayed by 2 years because Will said that.
That's how they got you. Because that's what happened with The Walking Dead. Everyone's like, when the fuck is season 3 gonna be here?
And Wolf Among Us.
And Wolf Among Us. And instead, they started working on fucking Minecraft.
But the episode that came out is the longest episodic episode ever. So they took their time with it.
Telltale has been taking a little too long when it comes to their products lately. I think it's just because, honestly, they're stretching themselves far too thin. They have a Game of Thrones game, a Tales of the Borderlands game, a Minecraft game.
Here's the other problem too: their games are not as selling as much as they were hoping for, and I think their studio might actually financially have some problems in the future. And I think the biggest reason is because it's taking them way too fucking long to get their shit done.
Well, I think also part of that reason is now that it's becoming a trend, like that episodic story game is becoming more popular.
Yeah.
They no longer have a monopoly on the market. And as more stories become available, people are going to branch out to the stories they like.
And you might have noticed this, Clayton, when you played Season 2 of The Walking Dead compared to Season 1, but after a while...
I played only a little bit of Season 2. I haven't played a lot, so can you avoid spoilers?
I'm not going to I'm speaking in broad strokes.
Okay, go ahead.
But in general, you start to see through the Telltale pattern of choices don't actually matter.
Oh, dude, I saw through that shit after episode 3. I was like, okay, there's no fucking difference depending on what the fuck I do. Everything's gonna go back to the same points.
And that's the point when Telltale's games start to feel
Here's what they
weaker.
did. They Doctor Who'd this shit. Except, well, in the case of Doctor Who, when you come to a fixed point in time, you know, they always do something lovely or adorable with the storyline, or they always remind everyone that there is a way for time to be rewritten. But in Telltale games, no, fuck you. We're not gonna have any childhood imagination or creativity at this moment. It's just gonna be the exact same fucking shit over and over and over again.
So I think when you play any type of choose-your-own-adventure game, part of that is accepted. Part of that is there's only so much you can do outside the box.
But it felt like in Telltale in particular that they aggressively went out of their way to make your choices not matter.
Yeah, so like Telltale does do that fairly aggressively, where it's like it doesn't really change much, and everything happens the same. Now, Life is Strange is not completed, and it does have some of that where, you know, like you're still following the same story, but there's a lot your decisions can change so far. There's lots of variations, down to the point where in episode 2 alone, there's someone that can live or die.
Yeah.
Now, Clayton, you've played through the first 10 minutes of season 2 of The Walking Dead, right?
Pretty much. I don't remember any of it.
Because the thing that also kind of pissed me off about season 2 is that they went out of their way in season 1 to ensure that Omid and Krista were the only 2 survivors aside from Clementine left standing.
Yeah.
But in the very first 10 minutes of The Walking Dead season 2, they both die. So it's like you aggressively made the choice to make sure only those 2 people survive, and then you killed them off too.
Yeah. See, this is the main problem with Telltale's quote-unquote choose-your-own-adventure method, and it's like critical things are the fixed point. And in choose-your-own-adventure games, at least the ones I read as a kid, the fixed points were always going to be like, say, transitional periods. Like, say, if you were physically walking to a dungeon, your choose-your-own-adventure things would happen before the transition period happened of you walking to the dungeon. And like, okay, so like everything that was important to the story that would be choose-your-own-adventure things, they would be before and after you walk into the dungeon. The fixed point is always the walking. That always is never going to change.
Not the dead, but the walking.
Yeah, just the walking. Just the walking.
So I think I get what you're saying, and I think part of it is games need to have a super strong, interesting story if it's not going to change how it flows that much.
And
the segments need to change drastically.
And that's the thing with The Walking Dead season 2, though, is that the story was just not as well written as the first seasons was overall. It felt like we were just going through the motions at certain points.
I will say, having been a fan of The Walking Dead and zombies in general, the first Walking Dead season was just like, we've been through the story 1,000,005 times, there's nothing original here. It was still good, and it started a trend that I love, but as far as the actual story itself, it was like, it's a Walking Dead story.
I think the
You know what the
worst part
sad part is that they really weren't the first ones to do choose your own adventure. If anything, they're like the HD remix company. They're like they're like oh man, they're like Konami. Oh, let's bring it back and do sequels.
Yeah, but they are the ones that kind of popularized the version of the adventure game that is just like you going through dialogue choices and no real actual like puzzle solving and that kind of stuff.
Were they really? Were they around in the 70s?
They were the ones that popularized it, not the ones I don't know if they were the first ones that.
Like I'd say Sierra would be like the one that everyone leans towards.
Right, but that version of the adventure game died for a while, and then it was sort of Telltale Games that revived it.
I thought they were both out at the exact same time, and then they died together in some kind of weird matrimony.
No, Telltale Games did some weird stuff, and then they started experimenting with this sort of storybook style.
They did the Jurassic Park game.
And the Back to the Future game. I think they had one or two others before they got The Walking Dead.
Sam and Max, right?
Yeah, and Monkey Island.
Monkey Island and Sam and Max.
But those were their early versions before that style died out. And then they sort of revived this new modern version.
And honestly, like,
really
the funny part is that they started it, and then like Japan kind of kept it alive with visual novels. The visual novel department, holy shit, they've gone fucking crazy with their choose your own adventure. Like, I don't talk about it on the podcast, but some of the games out there, like Fate Stay Night, there's like 150 bad endings. 150.
And I will also say, I think Mass Effect had a huge role to play in making these types of games popular.
Yeah.
I think these games existed long before Mass Effect.
Oh,
but
we didn't say that.
Okay, so like for the general audience,
yeah,
games.
we're saying that like Mass Effect
games
is
with
what
games with non-linear storylines or multi-branching storylines kind of saved it, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, we're saying that Mass Effect is like the kind of thing that made it popular in the mainstream part of gaming culture.
Okay, well, made AAA publishers feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah, comfortable doing like just a talkie game.
Yeah, it sort of modernized and revamped the formula. It wasn't a new formula; it was just a new version.
Yeah, and I'm honestly like with those old adventure games, I'm kind of glad they died because those really weren't that fun to play.
I liked a lot of them. I really did like a lot of them.
Again, it came down to story. Like, you had to be invested in the stories and the characters.
Yeah, and the puzzles was like a way to get to the story, but they were like, but depending on who was writing the puzzles, they can often be really stupid ways to get to the story.
I know you guys aren't. I know you guys are not a fan of anime, but I gotta say, a very large amount of the animes that do actually get shipped out, that actually do make it to America, they had a visual novel first, and they were totally multi-branching storylines.
Yeah, but that's a chooser. I'm talking about like the old school, like really like hardcore puzzle-solving adventure games.
Yeah. I was just saying is like we owe a lot to choose your own adventure games. It saved an entire medium over in Japan. It really did, because there was no way you're ever going to get the publishers interested unless you had something to show them that actually like sold well, which was always a freaking nightmare. But yeah, it's a very, very weird genre. It's so necessary, and yet it needs more people working in it.
I do think that Telltale needs to step up their game, because they're not going to be on their throne for very long.
Oh, I don't think they're on their throne anymore.
Are you saying they're going to lose the Game of Thrones?
Okay, so like one of the stories I was going to bring up. God, that was actually really good. So I found out that one of the stories, might as well just segue into it a little bit. There's a choose your own adventure horror game called Until Dawn, and apparently they're having issues. They're trying to get it working with Twitch, and apparently it's not working the way it was supposed to. And I like even Twitch said using PS4 share to broadcast Until Dawn. The publisher has disabled archiving for this game. We've reached out to hopefully Enable, and they're looking to find out what the fuck is going on there, because, well, it's an indie game, and it's a very, very important game, and for some reason Sony has decided we're not going to let you stream it. And I'm like, no, that's, like, it's a risky adventure. It looks awesome. Everyone keeps talking about how amazing it is, that girl is running around, running away from some kind of crazy horror, while the bathing the towel is like wrapped around her perfectly and it isn't moving, and everyone's just like, how did they do that? And how did they get it looking so pretty? And it's an indie game, and everyone's like, I want to play this. But if you don't have Twitch out there, it's not going to sell.
And apparently it takes about 10 hours to complete.
Yeah, that was another thing. Per run. And hopefully, let's hope they don't listen to Telltale and their idiocy with too many fixed points and not enough difference in the storyline. Let's hope that each run is around 10 hours long, and each run is very, very different depending on the choices you make. Let's hope that happens.
Well, you can basically see in the game when you're at an event that can change when butterfly appears on the screen, white butterflies. Every time you reach that point in the game, something you did before that changed that moment.
Oh, butterfly effect. I love that.
That's the whole promise of the game. They explain the butterfly effect, they talk about it. You find all kinds of different totems with butterflies on them, and the different colors of butterflies represent what kind of vision you get. Someone's death, someone's misfortune, someone's fortune, a loss.
And the blue ones are save points.
Yeah, and the prophecies don't always come true. They just show you what can happen. But you can change them and not change them. You don't even know when you changed someone. I heard somebody talking about...
this sounds like Doctor Who. That's great.
Yeah, I heard somebody talking about in one instance, they picked up a baseball bat or something, and then something happened that he just put it away, but he put it away somewhere differently. And just doing something like that you don't even really notice can mean life or death in another scene.
So far, this game looks very cool. I have to say, the butterfly imagery is also used a lot in Life is Strange.
But yeah, butterfly effect is something interesting when you're going about different stories and all.
For the people at home that don't know what the butterfly effect is, it's an ancient proverb saying that, like, if you were, like, you know, say you're time traveling and you saw a butterfly and you decided to kill that butterfly, and then you go to the future, the world could be wrecked by tornadoes. It's basically on that idea. Any small change you make could have drastic, ridiculous effects in the future, and it's been used heavily in games like, say, 999, Virtue's Last Reward, obviously, same series, Dark Cloud 2, that very good one, and it's an oldie but a goodie. It's one of the best things that can make or break a game. It's a very dangerous card, because if you do it well, you're going to make a lot of money. If you do it shittily, everyone's going to fucking hate you.
So I will say two things. One, do not watch the Butterfly Effect movie. That is a bad movie. Two, we have several games out right now and coming out that use a lot of the butterfly imagery, which is really cool, and since we haven't seen a lot of it in games for a while, it works. However, future developers, we can overplay this imagery real quick.
Yes.
So if you are not currently working on something with butterflies, if it comes across your mind to incorporate butterflies in the future...
think about it heavily.
Yeah, think about finding a replacement.
The Persona franchise also has a lot of butterfly imagery.
It does have a lot of butterfly imagery, but I think they went for a different reason.
But they also have a history in it, so if they reuse it, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're not exactly time-traveling either.
But yeah, if you're like a new franchise or a new game in a franchise and suddenly you're adding butterflies everywhere, that you
just make sure that you're very aware of what you are doing.
Of what tropes you were invoking.
Because literally, like, it's like, unfortunately, this trope is closer to the sun than a lot of them. So if you do it wrong, you're going to get burned. You're going to be burned. Sorry.
Well, no, your wax will melt and you'll fall to the ground.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a very short fall right into a very, very sharp, spiky hill.
We have Silent of the Lambs, which uses a lot of the metamorphosis imagery.
Yeah.
Again, you know, we're seeing that come in games, which is cool right now, but could play out real quick, so just tread lightly.
It's like, I loved, I know you guys are not a fan of this either, but there is a show out there called Monogatari, and in one of the seasons, they did talk about the butterfly effect, and they were basically making fun of it for 30 minutes.
Oh,
So-
Clayton, you weeaboo anime trash.
Just want to
I'm
put it out
basically-
there. It's got to the point where people are making fun of the butterfly effect.
I'm basically
This is-
excluding myself whenever he says something like, I know you guys don't like it, but that's something I do like.
Yep, there we
anime
go.
related, but
I
I'm
keep
already
forgetting,
making
sorry.
that switch in my head.
You
so
haven't watched any of them. I'm not sure I can call you our Animancer anymore.
any of them. I've watched a lot of the Monogatari stuff.
Yeah, you still need to watch second season. You've only watched
No,
half.
second season I watched.
Oh, you did watch second? You told me you didn't.
Obviously,
I
that's been
watched-
corrected recently.
Bake Monogatari, Bake Monogatari.
There's
Monogatari second
Bake
season.
Monogatari.
What
There's
the fuck did you say to me?
There's Bake
I told
Monogatari.
you.
There's
I
Nisei
said
Monogatari. There's
Nisei, that's the third one I watched.
Nisei Monogatari. There's Neko Monogatari. There's Hana Monogatari. There's Monogatari second season, and then there's shit. And then there's the latest one, Sugi Monogatari.
Just a quick translation note. Monogatari basically means story, and the word you add in front of it means a story. So Bake Monogatari would mean a monster story. Neko Monogatari would mean a cat story. Hana Monogatari would mean a flower story. Just a translation note, you know. Quick little trivia.
So you weren't telling Brandon to go fuck himself.
No.
No, but I will. Brandon, go fuck yourself. Anyway.
It is also one of those things where, you know,
I'm sorry, I was sleeping the whole time. What were you guys talking about?
Brandon, go fuck yourself. Okay. So.
and
I think I heard Clayton say that he is weeaboo anime trash.
that short translation, yeah. Also with the whole
Hey, I'm the
butterfly
one doing
effect
the
thing.
translations here.
Hey, Matthias is closet anime trash, which is okay.
No, he is our Animancer. He's just on break.
Also, the butterfly effect is a really cool thought experiment and is the premise of some good media. However, it's also a little on the side of over-exaggerated.
And so,
Don't you mean
because is my conclusion.
oversaturated? Don't you mean
No.
oversaturated?
No, over-exaggerated.
Really?
The butterfly effect in and of itself, like the thought experiment, is a little over-exaggerated, mainly to make its point. But people tend to take it way too seriously. It's like, yes, the concept of doing something in the past will affect the future exists. However, because we don't have time travel, there's a lot of people who tend to be on the side of, it's really over-exaggerated. You have to do something drastic to really change an outcome.
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. Well, let's put it this way. I don't think it's over-exaggerated because if I hadn't make fun of Andre and his stupid fucking salad, he might still be on this podcast anyway.
Speaking of time, we don't have much of it, so let's get the ball rolling. Something else.
Okay, so next story. PlayStation consoles generate more revenue than Microsoft and Nintendo consoles combined, and that number apparently, whatever number it was, doubled. It has been doubling since 2012. I did not know they were making them so cheapy. I thought they would be more expensive for them. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
That means that out of all of them, Sony is the most efficient in terms of making money.
Remember to always take from the gross, not the net. The net is imaginary.
Remember when we talked about how they had to sell their $1 million building?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I don't.
Wasn't it $1 billion?
It was
No,
a lot
that's-
of money.
That's
It
a
was
lot
a
of
lot of
money,
money.
Clayton, dude. That's a lot of money.
I think it was
Yeah,
$1 billion building.
But it was a really big, like, skyscraper, like...
Yeah, it was in New York
Office
City,
building
if I
type
remember
thing.
correctly. They sold a $1 billion building,
Okay.
and they were sad about it.
It seems they're coming back, so good for them.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh fuck, I missed one of the Destiny stories. Sorry. Let's see.
I didn't.
On the PlayStation 4, after the update, Destiny will be taking up 60 gigabytes.
Taking off?
Taking up. We've gone up to 60 gigs.
Holy shit, that's a lot of space for one game.
The last time we covered Destiny, it was the 36 gig game, and we thought that was fucking insane.
All of the
What?
Devil May Cry 4 game is 25 gigs for reference.
And it also may be inaccessible for last generation consoles.
Yeah, I heard about that. That just...
Oh, you
That's
want to hear a
pretty
funny
shitty.
story?
That means that does that mean that if you bought Destiny on your PlayStation 3, that pretty soon you're not gonna be able to fucking play it anymore?
Funny story, on the PS3, in order to download something, you have to have double its size in free space.
Because it needs to download it and then you need to install it out of the installer.
Yes.
So yeah.
It doesn't just like automatically install as you download it. You have to download the installer
This is giving me a headache.
and then install the game.
It technically makes sense, but
So
it's
you'd
just,
need
it's just
100.
fucked up.
You would need 120 gigs, assuming you can even play it still.
Yes. I found this out the hard way when I tried to play God of War Ascension, and I found out it was 35 gigabytes in size, which means I needed to have 70 gigabytes free to download it.
Dear fucking god.
And here we see the downside of a fully digital.
And those hard drives for the PS3 only come up to 120. Usually.
So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you'd have to be pretty dedicated to Destiny to wipe your entire hard drive.
Well, don't forget there are parts of it like the operating system that take up that 120 gigabyte space too. So you're already fucked, son.
Wow.
Unless you bought disc.
Oh, boy.
You already fucked, son.
And there's no way to unfuck yourself.
Oh boy.
Unless you do it like piecemeal, one part of the game at a time.
So I got 4 stories left. Are you guys ready for them?
Sure.
Go for it, boo.
Some Star Citizen fans are actually getting refunds for their Kickstarters.
It's
and whatnot.
about time.
They said, look, it's been a long time. You're supposed to have a game that was runnable by now. Actually, you're supposed to have a game that was runnable in 2014. At the end of 2014, and here we are almost at the end of 2015. We still don't have anything in place. So Star Citizen said, we are not, giving out refunds by and large. We're only doing it on a case-by-case basis and with people that we feel really need it. So if you're stupid poor and you gave $3,000 of your money to Star Citizen and you want your money back, there's a chance that you might be able to get your money back.
I think this is good and bad, because it's like, no, anyone who asked for a refund should get it. You haven't delivered yet, so sorry, mate.
On the other hand, that opens the floodgates so that they could basically end up losing all their Kickstarter money now.
Yeah, I would feel bad about that, but part of the reason is you're asking for a refund is they haven't delivered and they haven't bought good faith.
Quote, we don't want to keep people around. We don't want to fight with them. They went on to stress that the company is under no legal obligation to offer refunds. We don't have to do that. Terms of the agreement mean we don't. So, wow, they actually put it in the TOS agreement that no one has seen yet, that they don't have to give you a refund. Okay, that's shitty right there.
That's true, but the fact that you're saying it makes you an asshole.
Makes you even worse of an asshole. Makes you a scumbag. Quote, that's how we pay salaries, with your money.
Right, and we get that, but the problem is we don't know what you're doing with that money.
Yeah.
And we don't know if you're actually going to deliver,
that's the thing, is I'm surprised people still give a shit about Star Citizen after all this time.
I can't believe
it's not coming out. You guys might as well face the fact. It's not.
I can't believe how fucking stupid people are with their money either. Ryan Allen, a web developer from California, backed Star Citizen in early 2013 and went on to spend a total of $930 in various in-game spaceships over a period of about 18 months. He told Polygon, I can't believe I'm reading a Polygon article, god damn it, that he applied for a full refund on July 13th, 2015, and was granted the full amount on July 31st.
Yeah, because that game is not coming out. I'm sorry. It's not.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
it's a year overdue.
Yeah, it sucks, and I don't feel like there's been anything to really say this is why it's delayed. Still have faith.
And there's been no peep from them in the years.
It hasn't been years, Brandon. Come on, months.
That's still not
internet
good.
Years.
Yeah.
It hasn't been. How many years did you just say?
Internet years.
Okay, I was gonna say. I thought you said 8 years. For a second.
1 month is
what?
Dude, half a year is 6 internet years.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
So, I got nothing but shit stories now. Oh, well, I got one more positive story. I guess positive story.
Save it for last.
A Borderlands movie is on the way. You know, Lionsgate. Let's hope it doesn't suck.
Rumor is it's going to be rated R, which it's Borderlands, sort of duh.
Let's really hope that it doesn't suck.
Nobody can kill my buddies but me.
Let's really hope it doesn't suck.
I mean, they can't be any worse than the games.
Let's really hope it doesn't suck.
Clayton, it's a video game movie. What do you expect?
Let's really hope it really doesn't suck.
That's like a curse.
However, it is Lionsgate. This isn't some, loophole German filmmaker.
On the other hand, did you see that Hitman movie? No, you didn't, because it's garbage.
I saw the first one and it was alright.
I meant the new one.
Was the new one a Lionsgate movie?
I don't know who made it, but I do know that it's lower on Rotten Tomatoes than Pixels.
So I'll say it again.
Physically possible?
I'll say it again. Let's hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah, the new Hitman movie is worse according to Rotten Tomatoes than Pixels is.
That's amazing.
I'm surprised that is physically possible, because Pixels is like one of the worst movies of all
Pixels got 14 on Rotten Tomatoes, for the record.
I've stayed far away from that movie.
I think the new Hitman movie got like an 8 or a 6.
I can check that right now. On Rotten, so at an 8 right now at Rotten Tomatoes.
Dear God.
And Pixels for comparison?
Let me just give me 1 second to pull that
You watch,
up.
its point score has gone up to a 22.
17.
God.
How's it? Okay, so I will say that it is Lionsgate. They did the Hunger Games movies, they did the Divergent movies, and they've done the Twilight movies. All of which have been a high production value, but have also grossed very high. So that means I think they will pour an appropriate amount of money into this movie. Mad Max-worthy amounts of money.
I'm not sure, but haven't they also done the Saw series? Not that many people like them, but I really like them.
They make so much money on that every single year, Matthias, that the director said, we're going to keep making them as long as people keep paying.
But when was the last Saw movie? I feel like they ended like 2 or 3 years ago.
They ended the story, basically. There is a story, people. Some people won't believe me when I say that, but there is a story.
I think they're going to come back and make more, if I remember correctly. That is the intent, to make another one.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a studio whose movies generally bring in billions of dollars. So, I feel like they're going to pour a good amount of money into it. It's rated R, so already it's like, okay, they can, go with their source material. And I, as a person who don't think Borderlands is very good, I'm like, I think this could come out as a good movie. I always thought Borderlands would make a better movie than a video game.
Let's hope it doesn't suck.
Yeah, because the actual game part of Borderlands is pretty boring.
Let's hope it doesn't suck.
Okay, Clay, I'm sorry, but that joke is dead. Stop using it. Let's have an actual conversation.
I'm not making a joke. I really hope it doesn't suck.
You know what's also a joke? Video game movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop beating a dead horse.
I'm not beating a dead horse. I'm not even sure this is a horse to begin with.
No, he's right. Clayton is being a dead horse, not beating.
Let's just say that I'm not sure this thing has enough equestrian values. Anyway.
I think we have to stop horsing around and just go on.
Nice.
Pony up, boys.
I like talking about movie making.
So, John isn't on the call, so we can't have him do the British accent. But British cops arrest 6 in connection with the Lizard Squad Christmas attack. It took them this long.
Oh dear, they invaded during Christmas.
It took them this long to find 6 assholes.
I had a burn on America, but I feel like it's too political, so let's move on.
So Billy, you shouldn't have had them damn video game networks.
Bloomberg reports that all the suspects are British teens and were taken into custody after an investigation by the UK National Crime Agency. The probe traced purchases of Lizard Stressor, a toolkit used in the attacks. Lizard Stressor executed distributed denial of service attacks.
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm bored.
I think he's trying to be British.
I'm not being British.
What are you doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
What is happening in the podcast right
John's
now?
not here, so we had to make up for that.
Lizard
trying to
Stressor
fill the void and
executed
failing
a
at it.
distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS, by using a network of computers and routers to swamp a target with bogus data, collapsing its ability to handle normal traffic data.
Well, I say, don't
All
you want your
suspects
root
are
beer?
between 15 and 18 years of age, so some of them are adults. And the arrests took place in 5 different municipalities.
You could not have sounded more boring and high if you tried.
I am very bored.
Well,
I
I
can't
say.
believe it took them this long.
And
Don't
what
you
is your
want your
comment on
root
being
beer?
high?
I cannot believe it took them this long.
Well,
You know what? I have a funny arrest story. A
Are you
DJ
saying
at
that the police are hacks?
I got one more story, and this one's actually pretty fucking serious. Police say suspects had means to pull off a mass shooting at the Pokemon Championships.
I heard about this.
Oh yeah.
and social media shut it the fuck down.
Someone posted pictures of, hey guys, I'm going to Pokemon Championships, and at first everything looks normal. Okay, there's a phone there, tablet, laptop. Okay, it must be a reporter talking about their gear that they're taking to the conference. Then you start seeing things like combat knives, and then you start seeing stuff like a shit load of shotgun rounds, and then many boxes of rifle rounds. What the
I'm
fuck?
thankful that people are stupid enough to put this stuff on social media, so we can stop them before they actually do shit.
Yeah, let's hope they're always there in time. A picture of assault weapons laying in the trunk of a car is shared on Facebook with an oblique message about going to the Pokemon World Championships in Boston was enough for police to detain and ultimately arrest 2 men on firearms charges there. Quote, James Stumbo. Stumbo.
I'm surprised they were able to make the arrest considering the gun laws in this country.
Stumbo. His last name is Stumbo. Wow. Kevin Norton. Oh, that's not much better. Norton Antivirus. Hello. One was 27, the other one was 18. Both of Iowa were detained on Thursday after security for the Pokemon Championships noticed the threatening Facebook posts and reported it to local law enforcement. Police had to wait for a judge to approve a search warrant, which they executed on Friday to find the guns and a lot of ammunition in the vehicle. Fitzgerald said authorities believe 2 were capable of pulling off a mass shooting. Boston PD worked with the case with a joint terrorist task force that included federal authorities. The Suffolk Folk, Massachusetts District Attorney Office went into greater detail about the alleged threat in the news release. Stumbo allegedly posted the photo to a public Facebook page called Mayhem Pokemon Crew, naming Norton in it. Police found an AR-15 assault rifle, a 12-gauge Remington shotgun, and ammunition in the vehicle. The suspects drove from Iowa to Boston, then arrested the 2 at a nearby hotel. Prosecutors said Stumbo threatened Columbine Part 2, another Boston massacre, the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing, and a Facebook chat room conversation among several individuals, threatening one of its participants with an AR-15. Norton prosecutors said that threatened to shoot another person at the event on Friday, and he was banned from a chat room. So, once again, assholes of the world, what the fuck? Just what the fuck?
Just glad it got shut down.
I know. Just what the fuck?
I mean,
You
like,
see,
the people there couldn't be over 15 years old.
they don't care.
They're just gonna go run in. Okay, so why the fuck Pokemon of all things?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, out of all the targets in the world,
No one needs a reason. They have guns, and they just pick an arbitrary target that feels good to them, that allows them to flex their power gun complex. Fuck America! And fuck guns!
I really hate how both of them also look like they have some kind of weird defect thing going on in them. Like, just looking at their faces, it reminds me of stuff I'd see in my health books for, like, certain conditions.
That maybe don't.
Yeah, it's just weird that I'm just seeing that again. Every single time it's one of these guys that are shooting, they always look not right at all. And why did no one try to help them?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, that fucking happened. And of course, they're wearing camo.
You know, this would be an entirely different conversation if it had happened. We'd be blaming video games and Pokemon and movies.
Well, Fox would. I don't think the regular public would be.
No, it's always the same conversation. And it's never like, we need stricter gun laws.
it's a very convenient scapegoat, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's never, we need stricter gun laws, because then, America gets all gun fetishist on us and go, oh no, we can't have our strict gun laws. There's no way to prevent this. Says the only country where this happens regularly. I'm sorry. Clearly, I have a long-standing issue with this. People, this is
No,
my
I
personal
largely
view.
agree. It's just I'm not sure this is the forum to have that debate.
No, it's not. It's not. But Clay brought up the story, so now I'm on a tangent.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all the bad things in this podcast are all Clayton's fault.
Usually. He's the conductor, so he's
I'm the one that has to find the stories. I only go with what happens.
You're the conductor of this poop train.
That actually is the title of one of our podcast episodes. I forget what it was.
Probably talking about Borderlands.
Conductor of the Poop Train edition.
I was thinking South Park.
No, that's one of the bandits in Borderlands. That's one of their lines.
Dear God, please don't do that again.
It's bringing back his childhood
All you
trauma.
need, Will, is your imagination.
You are whiting out my ears.
Actually, all you need is love. All you need is love.
And apparently guns.
All I need is a kick and a
need.
snare. All I need is a kick and a snare and a... Oh, I can't say that part.
So let's move on to what we've been playing this week.
I can provide the kick if you want.
I have to dive.
Dive kick?
Dive kick.
Round 1. Dive kick.
I've never played that, but that looks like such a fun game.
Oh, it is fun. I played it back when it was I played it at PAX once when it was like a pre-alpha thing. It was pretty ridiculous. Anyway, so I've been playing Rocket League this week, obviously, and as I said before, Doctor Who, a little bit more Pokemon, and I've basically been trying to catch up on my sleep, which really has not been helping.
You can't kick that Rocket League habit, can you?
I'm in a tournament. I have to train.
Yeah, that's what you always say. It's a tournament. You can quit once it's over.
I have to be the very best that no one ever was.
Now you're just mixing your metaphors.
To hit all the balls is my real test. To score, that is my cause.
I'm not gonna say I've heard frat boys singing that, but I've heard frat boys singing that.
Well, clearly they're in the Rocket League tournament somewhere. That I'm gonna have to wait and find.
No, I think frat boys secretly all want to smash balls.
So, what have you guys been playing?
I can go first.
Go ahead. I can't hear Brandon now.
Headset fell off.
Oh.
I was gonna say, it's not like he moved his mic.
All that money you're making and your headset is still able to fall off your head? What the fuck, man?
It's because he has a tiny head.
It's corded.
But it fell down and it hit his neck, and it can't go over his neck, so it was back on and it shifted.
Oh. You call
Anyway,
Brandon
continue.
That? That's so mean.
I played Metal Gear.
Which one?
I beat Metal Gear Solid the first game, and now I'm on Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon?
Brandon, was love able to bloom on the battlefield? Now that you've played the whole game, you can tell us.
Yes, love bloomed on the battlefield.
And then the dogs ran away, and everything got really weird, and Otacon probably has to go kill those dogs now because their mother is dead.
I saved the redhead chick.
Did you, and then you watched the man die from diarrhea. That must have been really fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To be quite honest,
yeah, Will's never played Metal Gear Solid, so this is going to be very confusing to him. What was your opinion on the, sudden bullshit, trap floors and whatnot?
It's stupid. It's really
He's like, da-da-da-da-da-da, Snake!
Like, Metal Gear...
Snake!
The Metal Gear Solid games are all...
Please stop yelling.
Snake!
I'll wait.
Go ahead.
I'll wait.
Go ahead.
No, I'll wait.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You just take that first turn, take a right, take a left. Oh no, I'm in a pit. Oh no, I'm dead.
So the Metal Gear Solid games, they're actually really well designed games. Like the Metal Gear Solid 1 even holds up today as a pretty good game to play.
Yeah.
But they have these weird quirks that like it still feels pretty stiff to play those games.
Now, I have to ask you, did you actually play a physical version of Metal Gear Solid, or did you do the PSN version?
I I got the Lazy Collection, which had a voucher code for the first game.
Did you actually get confused on how you were supposed to talk to that one chick when you did not have the case on you?
Clayton, there's this thing today called Google.
Good boy. A lot of people did not think of that when they got stuck at that point.
Because like, I had a CD item in my inventory, and I was trying to figure out how to use it, and I was like, you know what? What am I doing? There is probably a Google somewhere of all the frequencies in this game. Turns out there is.
So for those at home that are confused, there's a character that you have to speak to a couple times in the game, and the first time you go to speak to her, you don't know what comm frequency she is on, because apparently you have a radio that can work anywhere in the fucking world. So the game breaks the fourth dimension at this point and says, oh, well, I could tell you. Or you can just look at the back case of the Metal Gear Solid game, and then you'll have your answer. Before Google became a thing, you couldn't really look up the information any other way except maybe asking friends or, looking at the back of the case. And if you bought the game used and you didn't have the case, you were royally fucked. So there was a long period of time where everyone, bought used copies of Metal Gear Solid and then stopped playing there, and then did not return to it for 5 or 6 years because Google was not a thing, and you couldn't do a Google image search.
Even if you don't know the code, the frequency, you have a 1 in 200 chance of getting it right if you just guess.
A 1 in 200 chance of getting it right. Actually, no, it'd be worse than that, because it would be 1 in 200 chance if it was just getting one of the digits right, but you have to get 3 of the digits right, so it's really a 3 in 600 chance of getting it right. Was there 3 digits?
There are 200 possible frequencies you can pick from.
I know, but you have to... No, never mind.
And what Brandon meant was, they say you have to look at the back of the case, or the CD case, but they don't explicitly say the game, and you have a CD in the game as well as an item in your inventory.
Yeah, and that's what I thought they were talking about.
That confused a lot of players, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that happening too.
They thought they had to use the item, but they couldn't, and... So yeah. But just for the record, Kojima and his fourth wall breaking stunts
are pretty regular.
He's good at that.
Yeah, he's good at it.
Like they everyone says that Kojima should just give up and make a movie, but there's a lot of attention to detail in that games. Like those should be games.
Yeah, okay. It would lose its magic.
The only place that Kojima,
the torture scenes, there are no continues, my friend.
Okay, so
and he's not
saying?
Kidding. If you die in that scene, it's you had to load a save up.
Yeah.
No, Kojima should never make a movie because his stories are some of the worst. They work in the context of a silly game, even though I think it detracts from game story's legitimacy. But no, don't let him make a movie. Please don't let him make a movie.
If we ever enter a world where we have interactive movie experiences, I think Kojima could actually make one that would be good.
We already sort of do.
I mean, I haven't seen one yet, but I'm thinking a theater where every single seat has a controller on it.
They had this Clue movie way back.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Where the audience actually could pick certain things in the movie.
Was that expensive to set up?
I have no idea.
Not terribly. And I mean, they have done some interactive movie stuff, especially in schlock horror in Little Bee House, but I mean, that's just interesting facets of history. But no, my point is, please don't let Kojima make a movie, ever.
The thing with Kojima is that he's also very, very preachy.
Yeah.
And he's also... his stories are bad. I'm sorry, Metal Gear fans. They're okay, but they're overall bad.
I mean,
but there are some very well designed games.
And it's whoever was helping out with the writing of Kojima games, they are very aware of what is going to become a thing that everyone is going to be talking about in the future. We talked about it last week, but they are like a Ouija board in a way. They managed to grab topics that were not prevalent at their time at all.
I still strongly disagree with that.
Anyway, it's they weren't on the same level as Dot Hack. Dot Hack did some amazing guesses on what the future of the internet was going to be, and they fucking nailed it. like Dot Hack started talking about algae being used as a way to generate power 10 years before anyone released a patent or even discussed the theory. That's how scary good they were. Metal Gear Solid was not at that level, but they still made some very educated, smart guesses on what the future of the world could be like, and they were pretty close.
MGS2 is about the internet being a thing, and that game is set in 2007, 2009, and at the time that was the future.
That was the future, and honestly, when the game came out, internet was not a thing. It was not a thing. It was a clunky, slow piece of shit thing that 99% of the world thought was interesting, but they did not think it was going to go anywhere.
The problem is there's 1,000,005 different cases of different artwork and medium predicting futures like that. It's just one of those things where, you know, if you're creative enough and tap enough into the cultural zeitgeist, you can make cool little predictions like that. And I don't think Metal Gear is anywhere close to the most interesting or most clever. And again, they're pretty solid games. The gameplay is rock solid. The stories are just dumb as fuck.
Yeah, although I kind of want a Metal Gear weapon, not a nuclear one. I want a little protective pet.
I quite like the stories. I wouldn't say they're... Well, they have certain things that I think are really good in them. Usually just in the game itself, in the context of the story of one game. But the way they try to mix everything and connect everything is a bit shady, to call it that. But I enjoy intricate stories.
I know Prinny is going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain because he got it with David, because he got it with a graphics card. I don't know if I'm actually going to be buying this one or not. I know I am going to at least watch a Let's Play. If it actually ends up being legit, then yeah, I'm going to buy.
I've tried to play all of the Metal Gear games to date and haven't gotten any more than an hour or two into them before I was like, I can't do this.
I had that problem with Metal Gear Solid 4.
The tradition of Will hating everything.
Continuing that
tradition.
Sorry, Will, but you kind of fell right into that one.
Actually, there isn't something I hated. When we get to my turn for what I've played this week.
I also, with my co-op friends, we played Helldivers.
What's Helldivers?
I remember that one.
It's this top-down game where you play as mercenaries who live on Super Earth.
Oh, that's the one where you can drop down and land on top of each other, murdering everybody in a sea of blood.
Yes, and friendly fire is a thing.
It's so ridiculous.
Oh, so it's like an isometric shooter.
Yeah, it's an isometric shooter co-op, and if you call down you can call down your friends to be respawned, right? And you throw a little
the
beacon.
Gimmick is that all the power-ups are things that you pre-equipped in the game, and you have to throw drop points so that they can drop in.
Yeah, you can some teams out there will, as they were playing the game, would call down the beacons and accidentally kill other team members as they were respawning other team members, keeping the circle of death very alive.
So if you're smart, you can actually drop your friends and your equipment onto enemies and kill them.
Yeah, some people did that with boss fights. They would watch 3 of their men die, and then they would throw a spawn point at the boss, and then this gigantic dropship just crushes, completely destroys the giant spider, and its arms are wiggling around, but it's very much dead.
It's a very chaotic game.
It's chaos. It's chaos in the extreme. And some of the guns are just huge, and they got wide spray of bullets, which makes it even worse because, again, it's a co-op game.
With friendly fire, you cannot turn off.
And only one of the bullets has enough power to murder somebody in that game. It's so ridiculous.
And you can melee your friends to death.
Anything that lets you fuck with your friends is cool.
And if you crouch in that game, sometimes you still shoot them.
So there was actually a time when I was really against this stage that we were going into. So when we dropped down, I just murdered all my friends and then went and died.
Oh man, people kept on making... Okay, so I got 2 jokes I need to explain. If you guys watched the stream this week, we talk about we kept missing our shots in Rocket League. Like, we're just circling around the ball trying to hit it, and we're all just fucking failing. So someone's like, man, it's like a ballet match over here, and it became Cirque du Ballet. Ballet,
Yeah,
ballet.
I got
ballet.
it.
Yeah, there was another game that had, we were making jokes about that, Helldivers. Those capes, you just spin around in a circle.
There's actually a trophy you can get for spinning around for 20 seconds without stopping.
Oh my gosh, it's like, okay, so like the capes are really great in that game. But when you're spinning around, you're like, and people were like, da na 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 na, and they're spinning while they're singing that part, and then the music stops and they shoot somebody, and then they start spinning again, while like some of their friends dive.
I usually start singing, "You spin me right round, baby, right round."
Good choice. Good choice.
That's great. There's got to be videos that someone has done of that out there. There has to be, man. There just has to be. That might be a great game for us all to play together, actually.
Yeah, and I got the PS4 version, which includes all the DLC.
Oh,
nice.
Dear God. So now you got the ultraviolet weapons that kill everyone even faster.
I got the mechs. And the tank.
I forgot there were mechs in that game.
How do you forget there are mechs in a game? Mechs are like the coolest shit ever.
Well, it's just so ridiculous because, again, you're killing each other so easily in that game.
Maxwell Gear.
Oh no, the trophy I was talking about where you spin for 20 seconds without stopping, it's called Dancing Queen.
Oh no! C'est la
She's
vie.
my trap queen.
Only 17.
You can work on the pole. I don't think you will. I don't know the lyrics for that song.
Will!
What?
Alright, so Will, what have you been playing, man? What have you been
Was
playing?
Brandon done?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I think he said that already. Anyway.
So
I didn't, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So continuing the trend of being the television correspondent, I caught the premiere of Public Morals this week, and oh, it is delicious. It is so good.
What's it taste like?
It tastes like 1960s quality TV crime drama noir. Oh. And evidently Steven Spielberg wasn't an executive producer, which I didn't know when I watched it. But it's very well done. It's very classy. If you've been fixing for some more Mad Men style TV, this will get close to that, but there's more action. And it's not quite as clever, but it's still very clever, well done, and it has some, just classically composed shots.
More action!
And the whole thing is aesthetically beautiful. It is very 1960s, down to the way they dress, the way they talk, the way they act. It is gorgeous. So if you like TV shows, go watch that. I fully endorse that. And then I have to suck on my sinuses, so you should all fill the space for a second.
Okay. So if I gotta fill this, I gotta fill the gap. I did receive something. There isn't really much of a story, but apparently Madden 16 is so fucking broken, UI wise, game wise, just getting a match to play wise, co-op wise, and 6-player wise, that people are saying it's the end of the franchise. So Madden 16, congratulations,
it also doesn't
everybody.
matter because
It's
people
fucking
buy
awful.
that shit anyway.
Yeah, that's basically that's me filling the gap. Will, continue.
Yeah. And as far as games I've been playing, I played like an hour of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
Huh.
Just classic gaming.
Huh.
Been working my way through that.
I remember you like that one.
Yeah. I have most of the Oddworlds. I haven't beaten them all. But yeah, they're all pretty fun.
Are you gonna play the new one?
What's the new one? New and Tasty?
I forget what it's called, but I think they did a Kickstarter campaign to make another Oddworld game.
Yeah, New and Tasty was the remake of an older one, I think.
It was a remake, but it also added a shit ton of content.
I remember a long time ago there was a story about someone who was blind and he used one of the Odyssey games and he could play them because the audio cues were so good for its time that he could perfectly tell what was happening on screen.
Does
just
anyone
listening to footsteps and all, and he could finish the game.
Does anyone else find it kind of weird that the first game that Will says he's liked in a long while, very long while, has to do with fighting slavery? I mean, of all the genres and plot points and storylines you could like, that's the one he likes.
And also,
Huh.
we're excluding my odd love for Life is Strange, right?
Yeah, I'm not
talking.
Yeah, it's like, you kind of said you love that one at the beginning of the year, and now it's the end of the year, so. Close to the end of the year.
I've really said I really like. I think there has had to have been something else recently that
You
I
liked
played.
Blood Rain, you said.
Oh yeah, there was Blood Rain.
That's a guilty pleasure game. Like, I know this is about the dumbest shit
Do you like
ever.
Dynasty Warriors, Will?
No. Not terribly.
You the crickets.
It's one of those games I could sit down and play for a match maybe, but then after that I'm done.
I'll put some bleeps in here just to make it more funny.
What are you gonna bleep?
I don't know.
Probably
I'll-
me saying Dynasty Warriors.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure
He's
something
gonna
out.
bleep after he says
D.
Dude.
What, do you like the D?
Warriors. Have
It's
you
like,
played
wait, did I
Warriors?
just hear that Will wants his D?
Dancing Queen.
Say love
Trap
me.
Queen.
Only 17.
I don't know that song. I know the Trap Queen song.
You've never heard
you've never-
Dancing Queen?
Have
No.
you never listened to ABBA?
Do
I know
you not
both
like
songs.
music?
ABBA's
I-
like one of the most important bands out there. It's up there with like,
You are just trying to piss me off.
no, I'm not. It's like one of the most important bands out there.
No.
It's well known.
Yes!
They're well known,
is.
but they're not important at all.
They are very important.
They are horrible.
Oh, whatever.
Will hates music too, confirmed.
Yeah, when we finally found a band he doesn't
What?
like. Apparently he hates fucking ABBA of all things.
It's one of those things where it's like, ABBA is well known, and they do all right music.
Yeah, what
But
the
they're
fuck,
not
Will?
very
What do you have
influential.
against
No,
Sweden?
Will, I'm trolling you.
Will, we're finding out now Will apparently hates Sweden. Because if you hate ABBA, you hate Sweden. Those things just happen.
Okay. I'll take that, because, I mean, Norway puts out a bunch of fucking good metal, so...
I guess Will is just anti-Swede right now. Jeez. Terrible. That's a large demographic of our audience.
Is it, though?
It is. Actually, it is. No, seriously, like number 4 or 5 is usually Sweden, for people that listen to the podcast. And at one point, they were number 2.
Out of
USA is always number
curiosity,
1.
Will, what do you think of Queen?
I like Queen. I think some of their songs can be a little overplayed, especially given their large library of quality music, but I like Queen.
Oh, what's that one song? It's just a fantasy.
Is this the real life? Is
Bohemian
this just
Rhapsody?
fantasy?
Yeah, what's that
Caught
song
in a
called?
landslide, no
Yes.
escape from reality?
Yes, what's that song
Bohemian
called?
Rhapsody?
Bohemian Rhapsody, thank you. Bohemian
How?
Rhapsody has a really, really weird history online. It seems like every single time, like, I don't know why this keeps happening, but a lot of the bands that, like, work in, like, anime and video games and whatnot, if there's going to be a bonus soundtrack, there's a good chance it's going to be of that band doing a Bohemian Rhapsody remix. And the best one I heard was for, oh shit, what was it called? Continue to talk amongst yourselves, I'll find it real quick.
Clayton's doing anime again. This is a problem.
So, Bohemian Rhapsody is a
Casher
good
and
song.
Sins. There we go. Casher and Sins. They had a
But
Bohemian Rhapsody
I
remix.
think what Clayton's trying to say is that he wants to have an anime body pillow that's life-sized.
No, he
You
wants
mean-
one that's 23 feet long.
Yeah,
Obviously.
with a snake.
Exactly.
And let me guess, it's going to be $23.
Oh,
it
no.
was really expensive. It was really expensive.
Matthias, were you here when we talked about that?
Yes,
I
it
don't know,
was.
but I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen people running around with it.
I feel like that
I mean,
was
pictures-
the one week
pictures of-
recently-
Matthias, you need to go listen to that episode of the
But
podcast.
It was just David.
I think
I had to-
was
Will.
here, but I didn't get it from the podcast. I saw it before that, or heard about it at least.
I think that might have actually been the week Matthias wasn't around.
Yeah, you weren't
Could
here
be,
that
it
week.
could
think
be,
it
but
is-
I
I
think
think it
we
was just-
at least mentioned it or something. maybe.
I had to bleep out like half the things that were said that episode. It was so bad.
Well, it's not our fault you left.
It was so. I'm sorry. Someone was at the door. I had to go see what they wanted and make sure there's no shit there.
Value the person at the door more than me.
I value not having shit on my porch. That's what I value.
How dare you take a package when we're podcasting?
I didn't take a package.
And leave us to talk about cutting a hole in it.
He didn't take a package. Someone wanted to use his package for unexplained things.
That was a stretch, Matthias.
Birds and the bee things? Is that what you're going for, Matthias? Jeez.
What did you say, Clayton? No, read. What did you say? I didn't.
I'm not gonna repeat it.
No, I think Clayton enjoys oogling guys' packages.
Oh, god damn it, Brick.
Yeah.
Googling?
Yeah.
Oogling.
Googling?
Oogling!
He probably Googles them too to oogle.
Well, you can oogle them on Google if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he oogles them on Google.
Wait, stop. Am I gonna Google search this shit, or am I gonna hit the I'm feeling lucky button?
I'm feeling lucky!
I'm always
What is
feeling
this conversation? How did we end up here?
It's your fault!
It's your fault, Matthias.
It's your fault!
No. It is Clay's fault, because he talked about his anime and his body pillow desires. Then
I
we
did
just
not
went
talk
off that
about my body
talking
pillow.
about his body pillow desires.
If anyone here is gonna buy a body pillow, it's gonna be fucking you, Will.
Clayton,
You and your life is strange thing.
Clayton, rewind the tape. It clearly has you saying that you want a 20-foot body pillow.
23 foot. We have to be precise with
what Will
this.
said.
23 foot, that's like...
I have you on
7
record
meters.
as saying that you want a 23-foot snakeskin body pillow.
Did you play anything else this week, Will, or is it Matthias' turn?
Yeah, that's about all I did. I worked a lot this week.
Same.
I played Sonic Dreams for possibly the dumbest video I've ever done.
Oh, the Sonic Dreams collection.
Yeah, it's the dumbest video I've ever done.
Did
So
you
check
play that video making dream
Twice.
game?
Twice.
Will, why did you feel the need to go fast?
Because, life is too slow and sometimes...
If only I hadn't have gone fast.
Life is slow? I thought life is strange.
Yeah, life is strange.
So basically, this is what's happening. If life is blank, we find out Will be playing that type of video game. So life is strange, life is fast, life is slow. Both of those Sonic. What would the saying be for
Life is pained.
Oddworld? Life is torture.
Life is stained.
Stained. That too.
Huh?
Stained with slavery.
Life is cooperation.
Okay, that works too. So what's his next one going to be? Life is emo? Is he going to start playing the Guitar Hero games again?
I
Life is
never
black.
played the Guitar Hero games.
He's going to start suddenly getting a Guitar Hero addiction that he hasn't mentioned before in the podcast?
I do not like the Guitar Hero games because they play nothing like a real guitar, and it is the most trippy shit ever.
Will hates all video games ever made ever.
I play actual guitar, so when I sit down to play Guitar Hero, I'm like, one, I could actually be learning this on guitar.
What console was actual guitar on?
Marshall amps.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
It's like Matthias is our king. He is our god. He is our sovereign. He allows
ever
things.
Needed permission to make shitty jokes on this fucking podcast.
But that was a reference. Is it Community?
Yes. Yeah, what's Community?
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm questioning the integrity of my minions.
If you haven't watched Community before, you should. It's a good show.
I
haven't watched it either,
a
but I
little bit.
know all the reaction gifs and such.
Of course you do, because you spend so much time looking at Imager for some reason.
Yes.
Because he finds the cutest animal pictures ever.
Yes, that's
And
it.
then finds additional pictures of them having Vietnam flashbacks for some reason. Holy shit, Matthias.
That was unexpected. I just wanted to find that seal with the beret and the gun. You know that one I'm talking about.
The one we found of the dolphin with the attack dolphin with the gun sticking out of its mouth. That one.
Killer attack dolphin.
No, the seal actually.
Oh crap!
holding
They're
the
not
gun.
Ukraine attack dolphins anymore. They're Russian attack dolphins. Russia took them.
Russia takes a lot of things.
They took all the attack dolphins that didn't escape.
Did you
Into
hear
the
about
Black
the guy who had a Super Bowl ring and he traveled to Russia
And then Putin stole it.
Yeah, he let Putin hold it in his hands, and Putin just like put it in his pocket and walked away.
What a fucking
I'm having
asshole.
a really hard time telling if this is a joke or not.
No, it's
not.
a real
I'm
deal.
not kidding. Look it up.
And like
Wow.
and the guy's like a very huge dude. And he's like, "What the fuck? Give me back my ring!" And then the Russian version of the CIA step in the way and stop him, and
The
Putin walks away with the
KGB?
fucking. Do the KGB still fucking exist?
No, not officially.
Wait,
I was gonna say they don't
I don't
exist
know.
anymore.
I don't know. Clearly,
Anyway,
I don't know.
whatever
the
they
point
use.
is like Vladimir Putin did totally just like take someone's Super Bowl ring in broad daylight and
fucking stole it and walked away.
And he got away with it. No
Yeah.
meddling kids involved.
Yeah, he went to the cops and they asked who stole it and where did he put it, and he said put it in his pocket. I know it's a stretch, but
God
No, it
damn
works.
it.
It works very well.
Works.
Yeah, but real quick to wind up my week, I did the public morals review. I did the usual DJ video. I edited our YouTube channel. Yes, we're on YouTube. Reminder if you missed the last.
Woo!
So I put our podcast up on YouTube, and I did a quick weekly roundup. It's a little shorter and not as highly produced as the last round one, just because I've been so behind this week. So check that stuff out on YouTube, because we're on YouTube. Check the stuff out on YouTube.
Yep.
I'm pushing that super hard.
YouTube.
And that's it.
Okay, so Matthias, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing Diablo 3 again. They came up with a new patch and Season 4 started.
Fun!
So how is Diabolo?
I like it. I can play it for like a month tops. Say like 2 to 3 weeks,
Just
maybe a month when the season starts again.
Yeah.
Then it's fun, but then it sort of loses its appeal to me. But they did change some good changes in this. One of the things they did was they added a new zone, and in that zone you can find Kanai's cube. And the most important thing that does is you can extract legendary affixes out of weapons, armor, and jewelry, and sort of equip them as passives. This opens up a whole lot of usually just increases of damage in builds, but it might open up new builds entirely. And the cube, Kanai's cube, is actually named after one of their former employees who passed away in 2014.
No.
They made him basically part of the lore, gave him his own character, and this cube, which is going to be used by everyone. It's basically a big power boost. Holds, well, his name. His name was... I'm gonna look it up.
It's
where was his name? Kevin.
I think you were going for Jeopardy, Will, but that was not Jeopardy at all.
I don't know what I was going for.
The King Kanai's cube?
Yeah, but the employee was Kevin Griffith, and his nickname was Kanai, as far as I know. It could be his real middle name, even.
Kevin Kanai Griffith was his name.
So yeah, he now is a...
Andy Griffith?
Could be.
So yeah, I like this. You know, they add something new to the game. They name it after a former employee. So yeah, it's a nice gesture, basically.
Yeah, I can't wait till you start playing the latest version of the game, Matthias. There's a little bit of something in there. I'm kind of wondering if you're going to be like, you should do that or you shouldn't do that.
Wait.
I can't wait till you get to it and see what your opinion is.
What are you talking about, Clay?
Oh, he's testing a game for me.
Okay, just you segued from Diablo into that.
I thought we were still on
like,
Diablo.
I'm trying something like
confused
that.
too.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, you can't do that, Clayton. You can't just switch topics for no reason.
I'm sorry. I got messed up. Wait, why am I the one defending myself? You fuckers do it more than I do.
That's the
Right.
joke.
Right, that's the joke. Like, I'm being you right now.
So yeah,
No, I am being you. It's the other way around, you fucker.
Wait, what? You're both being each other. Why can't you just be each other for a minute? Role play here. Role play out your feelings for one another, and then fuck.
I'm such a douchebag.
I love that Will is really a fan of that gay porn. He always wants people to fuck in this show.
I know. I don't know what is going on with that. It's like he's trying to write some romantic novel and he needs us to be his muse or something.
I'm what you call a shipper, and we have no female members on this cast, so I have to ship with what I have. It's like when you watch Avengers. It's like, well, only one of them gets Natasha, so who else am I going to ship? Well, obviously it's going to be Captain America and the Hulk. Hawkeye has a wife, so that
not according to the actors of the Avengers. They already said that she's a whore. I mean,
so that completely retcons my whole Hawkeye Nick Fury relationship. Now I have to find someone else to ship with Nick Fury.
Is that some kind of stupid joke that you have Hawkeye and then Nick Fury with his eye? Is that like some kind of joke?
Yeah. Yes. It wasn't intentional, but yeah, it does work.
Well, I see what you did there.
Oh, dear God.
Will Nick Fury can ship with Nick Fury.
Nick Fury can pretty much ship with anyone he wants. I contemplated him with Phil Coulson for a while, but I feel like there's a better match for Coulson. I feel like there's some chemistry.
I ship Nick Fury and Loki.
Ooh, that's an unusual choice. That's an unusual
Forbidden
pairing.
love blooming on the battlefield.
Well, Loki's gonna be the bitch in that relationship.
Loki's a power bottom. He's always been a power bottom.
He's a power bottom? Jesus Christ. Oh, boy.
How do we get here?
I don't know. I'm blaming all you fuckers.
I talked about Diablo. Oh yeah, something else I can talk about.
Guild Wars 2, right?
Yeah, about 30 minutes before we started talking, they started their sort of PAX announcement panel thingy.
Yeah.
And they announced basically two things. One is raids. They're adding raids to Guild Wars 2, 10-man. Usually now you can only make 5-man parties. And I think they said it was like, it had 3 wings you could do for 10-man, which is double what you can normally do. So yeah, they have raids. A lot of people wanted raids. So that's something. And the biggest announcement is they're coming out with like an expansion that's going to have the raids, obviously. But from now on, the core game is free. You can sign up right now and play the original game completely for free.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I talked about it a little while, maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months, about how if you bought or pre-ordered the expansion, you're going to get the core game for free. And a lot of people already bought the game because they were thinking of buying the expansion when it comes out, and
yeah,
they eventually got refunds and all, but yeah, now they're making the core game completely free.
That's very cool of them.
Very cool of them.
It's interesting. They still haven't announced a lot of details since they basically announced it just a few hours ago, and a lot of people are already speculating on, okay, are they gonna get trading post restrictions? Are they gonna get restrictions anywhere? Is it completely free? So we haven't got all the details yet, but it looks interesting.
Oh, and just so you guys know, it's going to be long over by the time this podcast gets out the door, probably. But on YouTube is apparently running all the at PAX in the past, they would always have somebody standing up on this little stage out in the middle of the main booth section, and they basically were like, throwing t-shirts out to the crowd and saying, hey, check out this game over here, this is what's going on today, that kind of thing. Apparently YouTube is running that entire section today, and they got Rooster Teeth to be the hosts for most of the day. And they're also having a bunch of other people that were like, YouTube celebrities and whatnot actually running the booth as well. So there's going to be announcements throughout the day. I think there's going to be a couple of different competitions, but it's interesting. It's like a little bit more of an effort in that little space for PAX. So maybe something to watch today if you're bored.
Okay. Also, do we want to talk about possibly all playing Guild Wars 2 sometime, streaming it?
I don't own Guild Wars 2.
It's free to play
free
now.
It's going to be free to play now. We can all play it. Yeah, which means that Matthias, once again, is going to have to find a way to move his character over to a fucking server so that we can actually play together again.
Well,
you remember we were going to do that the second time and we never did it? Matthias?
Yeah, I need to look into that again because at first they had two completely different data standards that hold the characters, so you couldn't go from the North America one to the Europe and back.
Yeah.
But now they added mega servers, and I'm not sure if that restriction is still there. If not...
Or maybe we're all going to have to create a new character and then choose a server and just be there.
Yeah, I can basically do that. You guys make new accounts, I make a new NA account, so to speak, and I just roll with that.
Yeah, we could do that.
The only handicap I have is a ping, but I'm used to the game, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem.
Let's all go and try to kill the worm together and watch ourselves die horribly in the beginning area.
Is worm spelled W-O-R-M or W-Y-R-M?
Y-R-M.
I thought you meant the one in the World versus World section, which because of the dynamic scaling, if you're there with the huge circle on the map, you can be hitting that thing for like half an hour. They probably patched that out, but that wasn't there.
Area. I was talking about us running around as noobs.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like a worm in the World versus World area, and everything you fight basically dynamically scales. So if you fight it with 5 people, you should be able to defeat it. If you go with 10, it will scale up so you don't insta-shot it, stuff like that. And there was a bug with that, worm, that if you were with too many people, because you're basically with 3 different servers on that map, that thing would scale way out of control, and you'd have like 30 people or more hitting it for half an hour and
getting no rewards. No rewards at all.
Yeah, and basically no rewards. Wow. It was the biggest slap in the face, I guess, but they patched that out. I'm sure.
Oh man, it's like I want to get you guys in there just so you can experience the experience point train just once. Everyone jumps in a conga line and runs between these objectives, and it all takes about 5 minutes to complete. And everyone in the chat is screaming "choo choo" over and over again.
Yeah, that's fun. The also thing is, especially if you're a new player, you'll be walking around the zone, playing by yourself mostly. You may run into some guys here and there, and then you come up to this big area, and you're like, "Whoa, this looks like something special." And one time it can be completely barren. But
and then other times there's a gigantic fucking dragon.
Before the big meta event happens there, it really fills up. You can instantly notice. If you see that happen, just stick around because something huge is going to happen.
If you suddenly go from a population of 2 or 3 people per mile to 15,000 people all working together, you know shit's about to go down.
Yeah. And even then, it can take, well, the boss isn't going to go down in like 2 seconds because there's so many people. The thing scales up. So if you're fighting with 5 people, it might take, let's say, a 5-minute fight for some guys. And if you're there with 50, 60, 70 players, maybe it's a 4-minute fight. I don't know, but yeah. The dynamic
I've had some fights go way longer. I've like some of the dragon fights, for instance.
Yeah, the dragon fights are really special, and they're in different phases, so they really take bigger. But if you, let's say, the fire elemental, if you ever encountered that one, that's a pretty quick fight, though.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, the question was, now that we're on YouTube and have the capability to all stream together, is that something we'd be interested in?
Yeah, we should find out who has the fastest internet connection of us and have them be the streamer.
That could be me.
That could be you.
It could be, yeah.
You and your perfect European streaming abilities.
Because I've looked into it, and we can talk more off screen, but yeah, if that's something we're interested in, check out our YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll be streaming from that fairly soon.
And we've actually reached the limit for the podcast, so was there anything else you want to talk about, Matthias, or no?
Nope. I've said everything I wanted to say.
Okay, so as Will said before, we are now on YouTube. If you look for Hulking Crit Podcast, you should see us pretty quickly. I am at Hulking Crit. Brandon Carey is at New Dark Cloud. And the actual Will, he also has a thing called Interactive Friction. And he's got Press Start to Discuss, a little gaming website he set up where he does weekly articles. Still doing weekly or doing bi-weekly?
I've been kind of falling off the bandwagon since I've been working a lot, but
you're forgiven.
Yeah.
The Actual Will, _Actual Will, is also on Twitter, and he's also on YouTube. And he is doing all kinds of silly little DJ videos, TV reviews, movie reviews, talking about how much editorials, talking about how much he hates video games. Basically, all the things he can do to keep himself from going insane with boredom.
That's more or less accurate.
More or less accurate. And then also Matthias, at Matthiasu. He is on Twitter as at Mashaisu. He's pretty funny. He's Belgian. He wants to be an engineer, so he's not really going into the whole video game article discussion
thing.
He's
Belgian. These two facts are not related.
Yes, and he also posts funny pictures he finds of Hulk-related things from Imager, just to cheer up my day, my very long week.
And lots of cute animals.
And fluffy, adorable animals. And
he's also the main crowd.
Attracts the main crowd. Also, he's my QA tester on a visual novel that we're working on. So that too.
But I'm not talk about it.
We're not talking about it. We're very quiet on that one still. Hush hush.
I'm very quiet in general, so anyway.
That's why I chose him to be the QA tester, because he's going to be quiet about the bugs unless they're bad. And I stream every once in a while. I did Rocket League this week. I'm going to be going into a tournament in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be apparently a very large one, featuring people like, say, Jeff Grubb, Ben Kuchera, a few other random journalists. It should be a great time. Kind of excited for it. I'm not sure where it's going down. So that's it. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Till next time.